Do you see that pig?
Yeah.
Walking around like she owns the place.
Well.
The guineas see the pig. Hey, come on. We had that's the second time that pig has got out this morning.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the pig escape, the great pig escape this morning. That happened, if you follow us on Instagram, there's a link below. You can actually watch the Instagram story, but we'll share it today in today's live stream. We have a lot of good stuff planned for today's live stream.
It was a busy week.
Yeah.
Really busy.
I don't even know if we'll cover everything that happened this week. If you like pastured pigs, it's a good week to watch.
Today's the day for pasturing.
We're going to talk about choosing breeds for pastured pigs. We're going to talk about what you want to see in a pastured pig.
References you can go to figure out more about pastured pigs.
Yeah. We also have a fun announcement. If you saw the title, we have a new animal. Guess in the comments section what that new animal is, and we will see if you're right about that. What else are we going to talk about? Business?
Business.
Business.
Do you want to pay for your homestead? Do you want to make money off of it?
I do.
Or do you at least just want to cover the cost of the feed for your homestead?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about homestead businesses. The chickens went outside. A lot to talk about today, so we will be shortly with you. We got the power wheels driving in the background.
Hit the thumbs up button.
Click the share link and share this on whether it's Facebook, whatever social media. What's that one everyone's using now that doesn't copy all your data? MeWe. Wherever you like to use social media, share the link for this. Let people know you're gonna watch today's show. We will be with you in just a few minutes. We have to finish up at the barn.
Chores.
We'll take care of everybody. The show's about to begin.
Are you set?
Right, we got to get the pig back in the barn before we start the show. There we go.
Everybody can hear?
Yes.
See?
Say
Sound
hello.
Good?
Let us know.
Good afternoon.
Hey, you beat me to it.
I did, because you always say good morning.
We've had a crazy morning. I don't even know if I would call it a good morning. It was a fun morning.
I mean, we've had worse.
Yeah, that's for sure. Homesteading, we've had worse mornings.
That should be a shirt.
That's, yes.
We've had worse.
I woke up this morning. I always wake up pretty early. I try to get some work done on the computer first before all the kiddos wake up and it gets noisy and we got barn work to do. And I usually wind up checking the Wise cameras that we have set up around the homestead. Just to, hey, what's going on? We have, different stalls, different things happening. You're going to hear today some exciting stuff going on. And I'm going through.
Checking on everyone. And I knew immediately we have one shot in the barn. In the middle of the barn.
Runs right down the center. And when the doors are closed and everything's as it should be, it's dark in there and the actual night vision has to kick on. Well, I clicked the middle of the barn and it was like blinding sunlight.
Celestial.
Oh! I was like, oh no.
Uh-oh. That means the back doors have been opened.
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't be.
No.
Unless something has opened them.
And we had an animal in there last night that did just that. We have a nice Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you guys get the Instagram thing ready. Give me a thumbs up when it's ready to go. If you don't follow us on Instagram, we have a link below for our Instagram account. You should follow because usually the things that go wrong and I don't have time to grab a camera because I gotta capture the animal that escaped, that's what winds up on Instagram. Instagram should be called Homesteady Fails. Let's follow along on my exciting journey this morning to retrieve an animal before I've had my coffee or done my hair. This should be a fun start to the day. We have a live stream at the YouTube channel today at about 12:30 Eastern time, so don't miss that. It's morning time. You can see the roosters are crowing. It's a beautiful spring morning. I just checked our Wise cams. We have Wise cameras monitoring the whole farm all over the place. Chicken tractors. I was checking on a couple pigs that we brought inside, and they busted the door open in the barn, and well, I don't know where they are. They busted the door open and the gate open, and now I get to go on the pig hunt first thing this morning. Maybe they're in here? Piggy? Oh, escaped pigs on the loose. There's the busted door. Oh, I just found Piggy.
What is your face?
Up by the chicken tractors coming running.
Look at that
Here
thing
comes Piggy. She sees me, she knows I mean food. So pigs, although they're one of the harder animals to keep in because they're strong and they want to get out and find stuff, they're also one of the easier animals to get back because they are very, very food motivated. So, all right, let me see. All I need to do is grab a bucket, put a little feed in it, and they'll come running, no problem. Here, Piggy, Piggy. Here, Piggy, 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 Piggy. Come on, Piggy. Yeah, the girl. Let's go, Piggy. Let's go. You want to have food? Come running. Let's go, Piggy. Back in. Got the water, got the food, and she's good, all cozy. I tell you, having those Wise cameras is really nice. They're super inexpensive. They're like $25 or something. And I can't tell you how many times, just, wake up in the morning, oh, let's see what's going on in the barn. That's not supposed to be like that. They're really, really a nice little thing. So if you get them, and you get them through Amazon, if you type in homesteady.com first, AMSTADY.com, it'll forward you on there. You get, we get a little forwarding fee. It doesn't cost you a penny extra though. And we put that money towards pig food and all kinds of other fun stuff. So don't forget the live show today. We are going to be doing that around. Yeah, they know about the live show. We have a lot going on
now,
here.
You failed to mention.
Very fun show. In there. Gonna be some chicken updates. Do you see that? I never shut up. Some pig updates.
That's true.
All kinds of other stuff. We got some good topics to talk about. And an exciting announcement
close
the window down. Another fun farm live show on a Monday, 12:30. Hopefully it's lunchtime for you or coffee break or something you can join us. Do you see that? All right, I think that's it. I think we did it.
Got to hear all of Austin talking.
Yes.
What you failed to mention, I didn't hear it mentioned in that video, where there were 2 pigs in there when we left last night.
I didn't even have that second one found on camera.
You totally just...
It's like, I found a pig.
Forget about her. Who cares where the other one is? We know where she is because her name's Tiny. And Tiny can squeeze into tiny spaces, and I saw what she does. She can just squeeze in between the electric fence and the the other fencing.
Yeah.
She can just squeeze right in there, and she's in with the other pigs. Now we are trying to separate them for what reason?
Well, in the future we have plans for some pig breeding. We've been working on pig breeding. This is a big deal for us. This is like a first. We've never bred pigs before. We've never wanted to have winter pigs. But I think COVID was kind of like it was so hard to find pigs. We thought, you know what? We love doing these animals. They're a great way to feed our family.
Yeah, pigs are your favorite for the homestead.
Yeah, they've always been my favorite animal that we've had. And so we decided, let's give it a shot. So we've been looking into breeders.
Our youngest, our second youngest, said, I want a pig.
Yeah.
Mommy said, okay, honey, we'll get you a pig.
That's why we wound up with the Kunekunes in the first place. He wanted pigs, and they're small and they're very, very friendly. They're a good breed to have for a little guy. But when you get into the world now that we're kind of trying to enter this breeding thing, it's time to separate them and manage
separate
everything.
For if they're getting ready to have piglets, if you want them to get interested, the males and females, with each other, because if you run them all together, it can be that they'll just get used to each other. They won't want to breed. So we'll separate everybody, and when we're ready to breed, bring them back together, or ready to have piglets, whatever.
So we have some big news you're all here for. You're all guessing. I want to say a quick hello to everybody in the chat box. I know just from who's here, we have people from tippy top of North America. We have people from Saudi Arabia, all over the world joining us this morning. And I'd like to say thank you for joining us live. If you guys could hit that thumbs up. We got 170 people watching. Let's get that thumbs up to what?
We got
at least 100.
Cindy and Jack moderating today.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah. And we already told Jack, email us your shirt size. Cindy, you too. We'd like to send you a Homesteady t-shirt because you're always here helping out with the moderation. And that's important, keeping it clean in the chat box, in the moderation box some days.
Yeah.
So we've seen a few people guess correctly. Yeah?
Some have guessed alpaca. Some have guessed more camels.
No alpaca parade.
Horses, donkeys.
Some people guessed goats. They should know
Some people
better.
guess goats because you know what some people know?
What?
That a little girl wants goats. So
Yeah.
they know, given our past history,
We were talking about that this morning.
that goats may appear again on the homestead.
It's, yeah.
Yes.
I can never get away from goats. Naughty
That's the one
gremlins.
thing you never do with kids is never say never.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. With human children, kids, or goat kids.
Yeah.
The correct answer you're going to see in our next video. We take a little trip to Mouse Creek Farm where we are getting mice. That's the next thing. It was a giant mouse in the thumbnail. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready, guys. We're going to take a little trip to Mouse Creek Farm.
I saw that thumbnail and it
What-
did look like a rodent. I thought, oh, we're getting a capybara.
Where's our video? Here we go.
Can you just introduce yourself and tell us your farm name? This is like, you can see the barn, the piggies, this is perfect.
Well, like, what do you want me to say? Hi, I'm Kirsten Bordner, and this is Mouse Creek Farm, and I raise Idaho Pasture Pigs.
You are perfect, you're ready for YouTube. That was perfect. One take, done.
A friend of mine was raising Idaho Pasture Pigs, told me I had to have this pig purely by accident.
So here you have 4 paddocks. They're constantly divided by this fencing here?
I'll use the Premier One fencing in between, so I can make 4 into 7.
Okay. And you
This
go
stays
the
here.
long way or like this?
No, I'll go this way,
Okay.
lengthwise, because they don't need all this. Like a sow in a litter doesn't need this big a field when the grass is really pushing. So I'll divide this with Premier One fencing, and one sow in litter will be on one side and the other sow in the litter will be on the other
Got
side.
it.
So I can actually have a sow in a litter up there, a sow in a litter in this one, a sow in a litter in this one, and then I can use this for feeder pig rotation. So you don't need a ton of acres. These are porta huts. I think they're like $200 each. I actually bought these used and rebuilt them. I have 2 houses made out of fiberglass truck caps that I repurposed. I have 1 house out of an old porch roof that I repurposed. And there's designs for A-frames online to build A-frames. So you don't have to spend a ton of money on housing. Just make sure it's dry, high and dry.
We're taking a pig home today, and if you are interested in a pig from Mouse Creek Farm, where do they get a hold of you?
Facebook.
We'll put a link in the video, Facebook link to Mouse Creek Farm. This has been awesome. Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
very enjoyable.
Yeah, we learned a ton today. I'm excited because there were some problems we had last year that on the homestead, how we were managing our pastures with the pigs. I got some new ideas, and now we got a new little piggy coming home. So if you want to meet her, stay tuned for our next video. We're gonna wait. That'll be our cliffhanger. You hear this?
This is one
Is
of
that
my
the
older
sound?
sows.
Is she like purring?
She's snoring.
Aw.
That's what that.
Mama.
I had to bring that sound back in. Mama's just like, you know the feeling, just like
Yeah.
totally out of sleep, exhausted from the kids, and they're all just
Oh, like they're
whatever,
cute
kids, help
though.
yourself.
They're so cute.
If you really enjoyed that little video, that's kind of like a glimpse of what's to come. I did a huge interview.
You guys were there for 6 or 7 hours. I think.
Yeah.
You were there a long time.
Well, the whole trip, we'd probably were there for 4 hours at the farm.
It felt like 6
Because you were home with all the other pigs. Oh, go ahead, guys. Kirsten is such a wealth of information we could have filmed for another week there. She works professionally, actually, with turkeys. She raises. She's like the person who monitors the turkeys being raised for big
large commercial operations.
Yeah, commercial farm.
So she's very knowledgeable at things like feed.
Oh yeah.
Biosecurity.
Yeah, when we arrived, first thing first was like spray down the boots, make sure, kill the germs. And one of the cool things is she works with some big ag companies, and she has a homestead with these IPPs, these Idaho Pasture Pigs. And she applies so much of what she's learned on the commercial side and so much of these contacts that she has. Because commercially she works with nutritionists for the turkeys, but usually a livestock nutritionist is going to know a lot about a lot or have a friend who does. The veterinarians, I mean, her network is incredible. And we're really fortunate. She gave us a tour of her whole farm, the way she lays it out. We got to see up close what the pastures actually look like with these pastured pigs in them. And
because if you've had raised conventional pigs before, they love to root.
Yeah.
They've got that long snout, and they love to stick it. We would get at Squash Hollow, a pig would get out, one of our big pink pigs, and immediately it would walk to our yard, like kids play in the yard, beautiful green grass, and just that little snout just
so quick.
So fast.
Like bloop, bloop. It looked like they were just like going like, doo-doo-doo, but mounds of sod would, like an earthquake, would be getting blasted into the stratosphere.
So for your pasture, that can be really devastating, especially if you were having other animals you'd like to graze in there.
And that's one of the reasons that we've kind of transitioned over the years from, we used to raise big pink piggies. We still love the big pink piggies.
To sell to customers. That's why we raise them.
Now we've transitioned to first Kunekunes and then to these Idaho pastured pigs. If you look at this pasture here, this is me literally walking through the farm. And I thought this was going to be really helpful to get a glimpse at, because they definitely are harder than a cow.
Than a cow, for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely harder than certain animals on pasture.
Yes.
But when you have had the experience with a more traditional commercial hog on a pasture versus
an IPP or
these
a
different, these different more pasture-friendly pigs, there is a big difference. And if that's something that's important to you when selecting a pig breed, which we're going to talk about, then that's something that you might want to consider. And for us, that is something that's important. Yeah. So if you're thinking about...
So yes, he brought home an IPP piglet.
Before we get there.
Yes.
We have a bunch of Kunekunes right now.
Yeah. And we have one IPP boar.
And we have actually... two females and two females and a uncut male
Kunekune.
And then we have two feeder Kunekunes.
So that's little new piggy, little new IPP gilt. And our son, because he's the pig, what do we call him? Pig master.
Yeah.
Named her Piglet so far.
I named my IPP boar Ham Solo, and I'm really pushing for Pigcess Leia. He's not having it right now.
He likes Piglet.
He likes
so far.
Piglet. And I made the mistake of allowing him, if he would care for the female, for the gilt, I told him he could have it. So I guess if it's his, technically he's
allowed to name it.
Get to name it.
But like I said, it's definitely a work in progress, the name.
Yeah.
It changes daily.
Yeah, it's a start. So
Piglet.
We talked about it a little bit at the beginning when we first decided to get pigs back, because when we moved from Connecticut to Pennsylvania,
yeah, we haven't had pigs since then.
We skipped pigs for a year.
Couple years.
There was no way we were going to move pigs. And we had never bred pigs, so we didn't have any pig stock that we had to...
Yeah, so we moved, and every spring you would kind of put out feelers for feeder pigs.
Here.
Yeah, we'd go to the fair, you'd find people with pigs. Oh, do you sell feeders? Yeah, we sell feeders. But we never...
It's a really big deal.
...committed to it.
If you've ever tried to find, a good source of feeder pigs, somebody who's reliable... Right, who you can tell early in the year, I need 4, and they're going to get you 4.
Right, that's the hard part.
I had one guy that I had talked to at the fair, and I said, hey, next year I want 4. And he was like, okay, I'll write your name down, and I never heard from him. So finding somebody who's got the pigs, make sure it's ready for you, it's really, really difficult. And we were really spoiled in Connecticut.
Yeah, we had our pig guy.
Our pig guy in Connecticut was awesome.
We started with him, and we never got pigs pink pigs from anybody else.
Yeah.
We would do, we tried a Tamworth or some Berkshires, but the ones we loved the best were from Tom Dexter, our pink pigs.
Yeah. And we always, if you're ever in Connecticut area, you're looking for a pig guy, we'll give you Tom's.
Tom had a bad year this year.
Yeah,
Said
so
a
you have
lot
to
of
wait
pig
till next
people in
year.
the area up there had a bad year.
Yeah, so.
So the farming, right?
It's so important when you're looking for feeder pigs to find a good source that I've said this time and time again. It doesn't really matter what breed you get. If you're getting feeder pigs, go with your best source of pigs and just take what they
someone
have.
local who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Is a really nice source of information. If they can get you your feeders, if you can call them and say, hey, this pig's got a cough, what's going on? If they know what to do. That experience is really so valuable.
Yeah, and if you're just getting feeders, you're just raising them for your family, for the table. You're not trying to start a business or something, and you're not going to be breeding them. Really, the breed doesn't matter for pig. If they're not good on pasture, put them in a sacrifice area and just leave it be. But now we're considering actually having some pig breeding, and now the breed matters because now we got to figure out what do we want to have here year round. What's the good fit for us?
And our goal isn't so much. We were more on the commercial end in Connecticut when we were raising our pink pigs. We needed them done quickly for our customers who were expecting this certain type of pork, and we knew what we were doing up there. But down here it's changed. We're not doing a commercial operation. We're doing it for ourselves and just family.
So we really needed to have the right pig for our place here, which has a lot of pasture. We don't have a lot of woods. We don't have, at least not close to where the barn is. We don't have, a spot that we can sacrifice to pigs that are going to just, tear it up real bad. So we wanted to find some pig that would be easier on a pasture. And that was a big key. And so when we were first talking about it and our middle son there wanted some pigs, we figured, you know what, Kunis are a perfect fit. They are officially the only grazing pig. And
they're small, which meant he could be involved with them more up to a certain point. The boars still get to a size where the kids can't go in with him just because pigs are strong and you never know what's going to happen. But the gilts are small enough, the littler piglets, he can get in with them and help us with them, be involved.
And the Kunekunes do have some really good pros. There are some things about Kunekunes that I really like, and that for some homesteads it might be a great fit. So first off, if you need them to be easy on your pastures, Kunekunes have that upturned nose, which is going to be easier on the pasture and help them actually graze.
Did you say where did Kunekunes come from, Alex?
I was really actually wondering, where do Kunekunes come from?
Well, did some reading on this. They're a breed developed as we know it in New Zealand. Genetically, they've got DNA from China, but the Kunekune as we know it was New Zealand. I have to read this description of them.
Oh, yeah.
They're small. They said they're highly distinctive, so remember that. Physically, a short-legged, dumpy build, pot tummy, short upturned nose, and a generally fat, roundabout appearance. It's pretty much like a description you never want to hear about yourself.
Dumpy appearance.
Dumpy build, short leg, upturned nose, and a generally fat, roundabout appearance.
But it makes
it's
a
pretty
super
accurate.
cute pig, though.
Super cute pig.
Yeah.
Easy on pastures because the nose is turned up, so they're not like the bigger pigs. You see that graphic is they don't have that long like shovel nose.
Yeah.
They're it says the great value of this little pig is it grazes and fattens on grass alone, needing only to be fed during the winter months. They're not recommended to be kept in a barn and fed grain because they'll get too fat and grow slower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is ironic that they will actually grow slower if you feed them too much.
And we got a lot of warnings early on from Kunekune enthusiasts who were watching us as we transitioned from pink pigs to Kunekunes. I brought out my big pig feeder with the big tower on it that I used to fill up to the top for the pink pigs. And people were emailing me, no, they're just going to be a blubber ball.
Yeah, some will say that like eyes would pop out, right?
Yeah,
like,
eyelids
so
would flip.
Fat.
Yeah. So totally like different kind of animal. Here's the thing. There's some really good things about the Kunekune. We've been able to taste the meat.
The meat's delicious.
Awesome flavor. Their temperament is wonderful.
Very, very nice temperament.
Now, not every animal is going to be wonderful, but like
Ready? Temperament-wise,
Oh.
this is a quote.
every animal will be wonderful.
Temperament-wise, they are delightful.
I would call them delightful.
Being placid, very friendly, and easy to maintain. When they talk, so feeding,
They
they
sound like
say
me.
for your family food scraps, that could be all your Kunekune needs. That sounds like
It just hit.
Temperament-wise,
not the dumpy part,
he is delightful. He's got a
And you can just feed me
a
scraps. I'm not picky.
generally fat, roundabout appearance, but you are delightful.
Lately, winter's been hard on me.
I was meant your hair. Everyone
yeah.
talked about your hair.
It's the big floof.
The roundabout appearance. Stop. And it's with all they need for shelter. It says a small shed or a drum to shelter. They are very easy.
They're very hardy. That was another thing
They
we really
get
liked
fur,
about.
like
Yeah.
this fur on them, super thick during the winter.
And that is also as a homesteader versus, a commercial, even a small farm, your shelters might not be up to snuff for a big pink piggy over winter. We've had big pink piggies and they can get pneumonia easier than one of these hardier, furrier breeds. So, you have good temperament, they're hardy, they're small and easy on a pasture. They can get a lot of their build from foraging and from being outside.
If you're a new homesteader and you've done your chickens, your meat birds, and you're ready to move on to the next one, if I could give a recommendation between, say, goats or Kunekune pigs, I would say, what would you say?
Oh, pigs, every single.
Pigs.
Did you have to ask, babe?
See, I recommend goats with reservations because health-wise, they're tricky.
I would never recommend goats
Ever.
But that's pretty well known.
But these little pigs have
daughter's glaring at me.
these little pigs have been a joy. Really, I've really enjoyed having them.
Yeah.
Even the boar is a gentleman.
He really
He's got
is.
this like whiskery face, and he's very calm around us.
I find it's interesting. He'll actually, when the other IPP boar comes around, the two of them kind of scuffle, and yet he'll then know it's me and be nice to me. He never gets fresh with me. The Kunekunes are delightful. Yeah, they really have been.
We had the 3 Kunekune boars. We got them together. Somebody was trigger happy when he was deciding how many boars to get. So we got 3. We butchered 2.
Oh, this was interesting.
Uncut, so they
Yeah.
hadn't been castrated yet. We butchered them and ate them the next day we tried it. And the meat really was delicious. They were
Yeah.
about a year old.
Uncut, which
Uncut.
means, now, there are some people who will tell you boar taint is something that only certain people can
Taste.
I've never tasted boar taint. I don't know if I would.
Do you remember
That wild
boar
boar
you got?
in
Yes,
Florida.
it was not good.
No, that might have. Yeah, I don't know. I did get a wild boar in Florida, obviously uncut. They don't go cutting themselves in the wild. It's on a stick or something.
They're like, I'd like to be more delicious for the humans. Let's just
They
take care
get
of
me.
these.
And he had a funk. And now
Yes,
we
he
didn't
was
know
not
how to
good.
handle wild boar. We've
No.
never cooked it up. It was like a total. We were very new at that. I was a new hunter, all around new stuff. But these guys, uncut, were delicious. And we've shared the meat with other people. And we've never had any problems. And that's a big deal if you're a homesteader, because cutting pig day is not a fun day.
Yeah, Austin has helped with that before.
Yeah, and I've helped with pigs that were like a little too big for, like it should have been done weeks ago. And the way the farmer did it, I should have had that clip. I have it somewhere on a phone somewhere. Like, oh man, we were real new with pigs and I wanted to learn everything. So I always tell people, like, meet a farmer who's doing it, offer to help, right? He was like, sure, you can help on cutting day. All right, I got to know how to do this. So we took those, they were Tamworth pigs, and they were probably at the time about this big. And if you've ever handled a pig about that size, you know they're just like a bicep that's been shot with adrenaline. They're just all muscle, like my biceps. And they're just shaking around, shaking, wee. And so we had to,
Screaming.
we put them up in this thing that held them, and then he did the cut, and they're screaming, and then you're going to wrestle them down. And the amazing thing is, the minute they hit the ground, they're like, oh, they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
But that was enough for me to say, yeah, I'm never going to breed pigs.
And here we are. See what
Here
I
we
said
are.
about saying never?
You shouldn't.
No.
That's a good lesson. The
Cons.
the
of Kunekunes.
fact that you might not have to cut them, that's a huge huge deal. So maybe try it out yourself before. Try some uncut Kune pork if possible. But for us, totally good. They're not perfect. They're not
So there are
perfect.
cons.
Yeah, there are cons. And this is one of the reasons we decided to maybe also try out an IPP. So first off, they are, because by nature they're very slow growers. They're little pigs.
Yeah, that's what they're bred for.
It's almost
they're
not fair to
bred
call
to be
it a
huge.
con.
Yeah, it's why you would have them, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't want this huge input. It's like having a mini Jersey versus a Holstein.
And then saying like, oh man, the con is mini
yeah,
Jersey
you don't
small.
want, if you don't want so much milk, then get your mini Jersey or a smaller Jersey. You also won't have to feed them that much if that's what they've been bred for.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of
But-
fat.
Yeah.
The fat on those pork chops. This was the fat. This is the pork chop.
If you're trying to feed your family like a lot of pork,
If your family's big.
they're not a great fit for that. And when you butcher it, everything's little,
But so delicious.
very delicious. But your pork chop is like a lollipop. But it's a delicious meat lollipop. So there's nothing
You know,
wrong
if you're
with
trying
that.
to eat less
Less,
meat, right?
Yeah.
Fill your plate with veggies and a little pork.
Now that could actually be a pro on the butcher day, because the fact that you can throw a pig over your shoulder, you know, a lot of people think of the potbelly pig as like this little cute pig that's supposed to be a pet. The reason the potbelly pig was created, why people bred a pig that size, is so over in Vietnam, where the potbelly pig's from. Better fact check me, somebody.
I think so, yeah.
Wherever he's from.
Vietnamese.
People could throw the pig over their shoulder to take to market. It's easy to carry. So, you know, on butcher day, not having a huge pig, especially your first time through on a big pig,
Yes.
that's a good thing. But overall, the con is you will get much less meat. It does take a long time, so you're going to have to winter those pigs.
Yeah, about a year.
And that can be a game changer. I would not suggest starting with a pig you have to winter.
It's the water issue.
Yeah.
That's why we say that, because they're notorious for flipping water buckets, and
Yeah.
they are harder.
It's really hard to keep the
If
water.
you have to haul the water to the pigs, you'll be cursing them out in winter.
In our interview over at Mouse Creek Farm, there's a really good tip about winter water. And by the way, that whole entire interview, the Homesteady Pioneers are going to get access to the in-depth, full-length interview of that. Link below for that. But we also will have a YouTube version coming out with more than what you saw today, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, yeah, so they grow slower, which means you will have to winter them. The way we view the Kunes is they're like an awesome little waste management system.
I think they're fantastic for that.
Yeah, because you can feed them your table scraps.
Yeah, everything you don't eat, your produce, eggshells, goes to the pigs, and they eat it all.
We butcher a lot of animals. We're hunters, so by nature there's a lot of byproduct in trimming meat and that sort of thing. You can't feed that to most your farm animals. You can feed it to chickens.
You can try, but chickens will leave a lot behind.
They'll leave a lot behind. Pigs with those chompers, they will grind up. You can throw them a whole rib cage, and like with all the rib meat that you weren't able to get, and they'll rip those ribs and chomp them up and just...
Yeah, or chicken carcasses after your butcher day.
Yeah, it's incredible
Chicks
what
that
they can...
die.
Yeah. So as long as it's not like a disease thing. Or whatever.
Right.
But the point is your homesteads produce a lot of waste, and they're a great way to turn that into something valuable. They do grow slow.
They are expensive.
They're super expensive.
Ours are not registered. If you want registered, it's even more expensive. They'll be more expensive than a pink pig you get out there, or Berkshire.
I was blown away by how much money Kunekune's. A registered Kunekune can be like $1,000, and I know we have like really expensive livestock too. I was just surprised because for registered other pigs, I've not seen those kind of numbers. Kunekune's very expensive for registered ones. So we didn't decide to get registered Kunes at
Now,
the time.
That could be a pro to getting them for you if you feel like getting into breeding superior livestock. There is a
Right.
market out there for that right now.
And we
Even
really,
as pets, people will get the Kunekune as pets.
we usually do buy registered animals. The reason we didn't with the Kune, first off, it was COVID. And we were like, we need pigs. Like now, where can we get the pigs? We just need them. What do you got? Sure, whatever. Okay, get them. We just wanted to have pigs. And second, we figured we're really not good.
Marketers of our animals.
Yeah, we have a hard time getting what the animal should get because usually...
I'm in charge. Because usually it's my
but-
fault.
One of us here is good at marketing, and
So I'm like ready to
one of us
sell
a
them.
really good farm girl.
I will sell them for $50.
Yes,
Husband's like, what are you
She's
doing?
like, oh, but it's a good home. That'll just cover the paperwork, which is a nice thing.
It's a nice
It's a
thing.
good thing.
We like our coonies.
Yeah.
We're going to keep them for a few years at least.
Yeah,
Do
so-
some breeding and
We're not looking to like be a Cooney breeder for a bunch of people. We just wanted to have a little thing. The IPPs, now we came into with a different mindset.
Austin came into it with a different mindset.
Yeah, because after having the Coonies for a while, again, I realized there's a lot of pros, a lot of nice things about them, but they're really not a great fit for most homesteaders who are looking to get more meat and don't want to spend a lot of money on the little pig.
Our family is bigger, so we could use a pig with more yield.
Yeah. Plus, we have our old pig customers. Your parents always bought a pig from us. My parents always bought a pig from us. They're all like out of pork for years now. Like, hey, you gonna have any more pigs? So we'd like to be able to have some for our old, core customers.
Our family.
Basically, family. Yeah. Nobody else. Sorry, back in Connecticut, not gonna ship it over state lines. But yeah, so we started thinking, you know what, maybe we could find another option. And at the same time, we were kind of looking into, what other options are out there, what kind of pigs would be good. Should we go back to the big pink pig?
Still wanting to have pigs. I still wanted to be able to have them on the pasture.
Yeah.
Because we do have so much here.
And again, unfortunately, we just don't have a lot of woods to sacrifice area. So whatever we put out there's got to be able to not ruin the pasture. And we'll talk in a minute here about...
That's why.
Yeah, we'll talk in a minute about just the idea of like pasturing pigs and what to expect. But we stumbled upon the Idaho Pasture Pig. You may remember we interviewed Kirsten from Mouse Creek Farm last year. You can check that interview out here on YouTube. It's a fantastic interview. I forgot to link to the interview, but you can check out Mouse Creek Farm in the links below. Idaho Pasture Pigs, ready? Idaho Pasture Pigs are a smaller homesteading pig with an even temperament that do well on pasture with little grain and minimal rooting. Meat is well marbled with excellent flavor. I did get to see some of the meat, and it looked very well marbled. That was beautiful. Birth to finish on grain, 6 months. Birth to finish on pasture, approximately 9 months.
Oh, look at them. Those piglets
Yeah, they're
are
super
so cute.
I do like the spotted deer.
IPP is a cross that is now a breed between Berkshire for the meat quality, the Duroc for the mothering ability, and Kunekune for small grazing with great temperament.
Great temperament. They're delightful.
Delightful. Perfect for small farms and have excellent meat quality.
So they're really a nice homesteader option.
They get that, and this is part of the breed standard that you're looking for if you are breeding or looking to buy. They need to have that short upturned nose. 'Cause
Right.
That's what makes them be able to eat the grass in your pasture.
Now they're a newer breed, so by nature they're a newer breed, and they're actually 3 breeds combined. So not yesterday, Saturday when we were talking about this, Kirsten was telling me that, you
There'll be
will
like
still
throwbacks, genetic
Yeah.
throwbacks. It's like we bred our mini Jersey to a mini Jersey, but there was a throwback to a mid-sized Jersey, so she had a mid-sized calf.
Yeah.
That will happen with these pigs.
Yeah. So I would really suggest, and this is one of the reasons when we went for the IPP, we decided to go with a registered animal.
Because you're getting the breed standard that is why you're buying this pig.
Yeah. And a good breeder whose reputation is on the line, who wants to be known as like a valuable source. If something's wrong with your pig, that's a breeding problem, not like you didn't feed it right or something, or you let it
Like
out
the
and got
nose
hurt.
is too long.
If the nose is too long, if the feet are weird, a good breeder is going to make that right. So when it comes to buying,
And they'll say, don't use that pig for breeding. That'll be a
yeah.
feeder.
Now if you're buying them for feeder pigs,
Yeah, but-
it's not going to matter if their nose is a little long. It's you're going to eat it in 6 to 9 months. I did appreciate that little tidbit on this Mouse Creek Farm pamphlet here. The difference in raising them on pasture or grain raising them. So obviously, any pig can be fed. Well, I don't want to say any pig. The Kunekunes are going to become fat balls. But an IPP can be fed just grain like your big pink piggies can too. And let's be honest, any pig you let out onto a pasture loves the
yeah,
pasture.
they'll love it.
They're going to munch up on the grass.
The weeds, the grubs, anything,
Yeah.
anything they can find.
So when you hear the word pastured pig, this is one of those things that people get like so angry about. They'll argue maybe.
No.
Yeah, it's shocking that Homestead world, people argue about things.
No.
When you hear the idea of like a pastured pig and you're thinking about raising a pastured pig, you should not go into it thinking I'm going to get a cow that produces bacon. That is
We're shooting for it. We'll try.
that one in that picture looks like it's got, a lot of milk. It almost is cow quality.
Let's
there.
milk that sow out.
Yeah, if we could get her on the stand. You're not going to be able to take an IPP and put it out in your yard and never feed it anything other than grass and have a healthy animal. That's not what you're getting when you go to get a pastured pig. What you're getting is an animal that is not going to destroy your pastures, that's going to be bred for certain qualities that will be good out on the pasture. For example, the nice thick hide, the furry, warm hide. Your big pig's going to be too cold on some of those windy, cold days. Whereas the more heritage breeds with the thicker hair, they're going to be healthier on that pasture. These ones aren't going to be so hard on the pasture. And
Upturned nose.
yeah, and Kirsten talked about she's been monitoring the feed. And they will need less feed from, your feed mill.
But a
they're on pasture.
higher mineral mix.
Yeah, and Kirsten goes into this in our interview, the one we already did, and she goes into it in the interview that's going to come out too. But basically,
It's like any livestock.
Yeah,
They still need care. We
Yeah.
can't throw the cows out into the field and expect them to be great because our field is deficient in some things.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the pigs. You can't throw them on grass and expect that everything's going to be perfect.
and pigs are not ruminants, so they're not designed to turn just the grass and the weeds out there into all the protein you want from your pig. So Kirsten supplements with she's like, again, her context in the turkey grower world, she's got a custom-made feed, and when you buy your pig from her, she gives you a pamphlet with all the information on your custom feed and all that stuff. So we had a great time at Kirsten's farm. If you're thinking about going the pig route,
yeah.
we wanted to read you a little excerpt from a book, Raising Pigs on Green Pastures. So this is a book that was sent to us by the author, Jody.
Kronauer, maybe.
Jody.
But the link's below.
She's very involved in the IPP world. Here's that pretty book. You can see that pretty book. Maybe I'll hold it in front of that one. Can we get a nice shot of that book? There we go. Raising Pigs on Green Pastures. So I've just started it. Really, really nice. Just so rich in information, this book. This is going to take me a while to get through because it's like a well-written, excitingly... It's not a dictionary, but it's so rich with information. It's like going to take me a while to just go through with a highlighter. Actually, Kirsten said that. She said, I started reading it, and then I said, uh-oh, I got to go get a highlighter.
Jody is actually... They used to live in Pennsylvania, and now they moved out west. They raise bison, pigs. She's got some Gypsy Vanner horses, one of my favorite types of horses.
Yeah, a lot of
experience
with different breeds, different animals. And I love the message here. If you're in the chat box and you're like, these pasture pigs are crazy, no one should get them, or if you're in the chat box and you're like, Kunekunes are the best thing ever, IPPs are the worst, whatever you feel, listen to this. I just thought, such a nice way of picking. When considering your pig, you're going to need to determine what the primary goal is for pigs on your farm. An example is the Kunekune pig. The Kunekune pigs are naturally a slower growing pig. If your primary goal is to have a quick growing meat pig, then you will potentially be disappointed if this is the breed of pig you choose to start your meat operation. Kunekune pigs are fantastic in many ways and may be exactly what you're looking to add to your farm as a meat pig, but it is always best to look at the pros and cons of the breed before making an important decision. For each breed, there is normally a set of breed standards. Those standards may vary slightly, but the general conformation per breed is set by their own breed standards. For a pig to be able to graze the grass properly, the snout has to be shorter and upturned to allow the pig to eat the grass. If a pig has a long, straight snout, the ability of that pig to be able to graze is greatly diminished. We personally raise Idaho Pasture Pigs, so I'm going to use them as my next example. The proper conformation for an Idaho pastured pig is a shorter upturned snout. Not every breeding quality piglet has the same snout. There's definitely some variation, but whether the snout is nice and short or a bit longer, it should always be upturned at the tip and not be extremely long. The snout also needs to be uniform all the way down to the tip. Snouts that are narrow too much and too quickly are not ideal for breeding quality Idaho pastured piglets. As for body conformation, you will again follow the breed standards for the breeds you choose. Some breeds, like longer, leaner pigs without a whole lot of bulk in their shoulders and butt regions. Other breeds will be most concerned with other breeds.
They like that. And
The kids are laughing.
Box over there about the butt region.
They like the butt region you mentioned. Well, they'll like this
that sounds
too.
like you.
Other breeds will be most concerned with nicely rounded buttocks.
There we go.
And big front.
That's why I picked you.
There you go.
You wouldn't be right for everyone, but you're right for me. You
Can you actually get me to blush? I didn't know it's possible, but you might. You might just do it. The last sentence here I think drives it home. There are no right or wrong breeds. Instead, there is just a right or wrong in what will work best for you and your farm. So
just embrace it.
Yeah.
Just really figure out what you're looking for. Do you not want to deal with wallows, or because that's what every pig will do. They'll find a little wet spot and they'll make a little hole and you won't get grass there because they've ruined it. Do you not want to deal with that in your field? Then don't. Keep them on a pad somewhere and feed them and cut grass and bring it to them. Or you don't mind and you can use your tractor and fix all those bare spots that you got and it's not a big deal. There's so many options out there.
And if you're wondering what to expect, again, stay tuned for that video from Kirsten, the tour we took. You'll see what her pastures look like. We got some good footage just so you know what to expect because, again, they're not cows. She was really great about, like, you know, look, that's a dust bath. You're going to get those. But what you're not going to get is the huge, you know, torn up big things that we saw.
Oh, they're so cute.
And they are so cute.
Look at that. I mean, they're a pretty pig.
Yeah.
So Jody, who wrote the book, she is also going to be on our show in a few months.
Yeah. And if you want to join live for that, we'll be doing that live with the pioneers, that interview.
Let me show my fingernails too, because my kids did
they're
those.
so cute.
So
if you
they're
want
as colorful as the pigs.
If you want to check out Jody's book, we have a link below to her book. You can click the link and purchase the book on Amazon. Just something I want to say, books like this book, I think about all John Siskovich's books that we've shared in the past. They're not your, you know, like $4 paperback that you get like a fiction book. They're usually a little bit more.
It's been a while since I bought a book, I think.
$4. They don't make a $4 paperback anymore.
No.
A book like this, you're not just, what I'm saying is you're not just buying a quick read. What you're buying is like years of experience.
It is like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, but it reads better than it's not a boring read, but it's so much information that will take you years and so many mistakes.
That's important to remember. Like this is going to save you, and I think she does say that in there. Everyone makes mistakes. They've made mistakes that they talk about in the book, but hopefully this prevents us from making these same mistakes.
And this is not like sponsored. She just sent us the book. We didn't even know it was coming, so thank you, Jody, for sending it. I can't wait to dive into this. We just already looking through it have been impressed by it. We're really excited to learn a lot more. And I know if you're going to make this part of your homestead, whatever you spent, any books like this, John's books, the books that we have talked about in the past on this channel, they are going to save you heartache, time, money, life. So they're just worth every penny. And we were fortunate we got that one sent to us. So thank you, Jody. That was great.
And I do see in the comments people talking about pig breeds, other breeds that maybe they hadn't heard of. Mangalitsa's, got the Meishans. So yeah, there are a lot of cool pigs out there.
What does Jack raise? I forget what Jack has.
On Mindful Homestead, Jack?
Yeah. By the way, Jack's got a YouTube channel. If he's still around, are you still here, Jack? Go check out the Mindful Homestead. He's one of our mods, and Jack raises pigs. He had a wild season with the pigs this year. Go check out his pig videos. You'll see the ups and downs of running a homestead business. And
speaking of wild pigs.
Wild pigs.
Did we want to talk about my
Oh, my
interaction
goodness,
with Mr. IPP boar yesterday.
Yeah, you did have a wild pig interaction. Do you want to show it?
Downsides of the IPP is they are bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And ours is a teenager right now, so he's constantly like, and it's spring, so the boars are, what did you call it, tussling or?
Sparring.
Yeah, you said something. It was a funny word you used. They're fighting with each other. So we get in there, and I was separating the gilts from the boars, and I was bending over, like lifting up a fence, and he reached up and grabbed and just bit me, and I was shocked.
No,
and Austin said that I get emotional when I get hurt.
Like,
it's like when you get bit by a pig that you are not expecting at all. It's a very emotional experience.
And for the first time, your volume on this podcast is
loud
just
enough,
perfect.
too loud.
You're still emotional about this. So emotional.
I got bit by a pig. Thankfully, I wear long pants and generally long sleeves because I get cut a lot. So I had a long sleeve shirt on, and it didn't break the skin.
Fortunately.
But it did. I'm going to have a nasty bruise there, and it hurt. So we said before, the kids aren't allowed in with the pigs.
Yeah.
Unsupervised with us. We're always near them. But from now on, Austin is the pig master on that
now
side of the
Kay's
fence.
not allowed because he's a big guy, that IPP
big
boar.
guy.
And they do, you saw in the video, they get to be a pretty good size. The boars get big. Nice thing is they did breed for that temperament. And this is one of the things I reading in this book here that Jody's got. She talks about breeding quality. A good breeder doesn't just breed every pair she's got. Say, a good breeder doesn't say, well, you know what? I got these pigs, I got to use them. A good breeder will select the choice ones, and temperament is a big part of it. We were talking about mothering temperament.
Yeah.
And I said, are they good mothers? And Kirsten said they better be, or they don't stick around.
Good.
So this is the kind of thing you want to look for in a potential breeder to buy your stock from.
If this is what we were all looking for, I feel like in every animal that we were breeding, whether it's goats or sheep, and really get. Sometimes if you're into show animals, you're calling for a different thing than you are a homestead animal, and if we could really like manage it, even for parasites, for hardiness, for good feet, you wouldn't get the some of the issues you have with animals nowadays.
Yeah.
Also, somebody needs to train his pig a little better.
And that's something we'll keep an eye on. Now,
I know they can train pigs to sit, so next time I want to see all your pigs sitting before we
this would be
feed them.
incredible.
It
I should
would,
work on
and
it.
I think you should do
Make
it.
YouTube gold.
Sit.
If we'll watch them because Kay mentioned, springtime, in with other boars, teenage years. There are reasons that he might have, chomped down, and he might not be a cull animal.
No,
he's good quality stock.
When we go in there, we're going in to feed them, so his mind's thinking like
all right,
food
and he's
time.
messing with the other boys. So what we'll start doing now, as we get our fencing set up and our new paddocks and everything ready, everybody can have their own space. I learned some awesome stuff about how to feed them without having them tussle from Kirsten, so stay tuned for that.
Do you make them sit with the marshmallow?
No, she doesn't make him
That's
sit.
what they say
I
to do.
didn't see
Use a
any.
marshmallow to train them.
That'll work on me. I'm very pig-like. Oh my goodness. But the fact of the matter is, you want to, if you're going to buy stock like that, support a breeder that's going through that quality of selection. If you're getting into it, purchasing that book is going to support a small homestead business. Small homestead businesses, support them.
Yeah, we've been doing this show for a while, and it's amazing. We've been to farms who run a farm business. We've been to homesteads who run a homestead business. It's fascinating how these people, the creativity that goes into making a product and advertising and really making a success, to maybe pay for what they're doing on their homestead, to pay for the feed that they need for the pigs or the goats.
I'm going to ask you who are watching live, here is a green light, plug away. If you have a homestead business and you sell something, write down what you sell and go ahead and share your link to your online store.
Is it Etsy? Is it Facebook? Halters, right? What
the
way
things
people think to pay for their hobbies, to pay for their homestead.
And we really have, over the years, we've purchased so many products. Think about our fly masks that we got from
Kirby.
Right? Kirby got us the fly masks, and
For
she's
the
got a
cows.
homestead. She's got cows.
Yep.
Creative ways where maybe the meat product or the eggs, and we've done that a million times, you can't make money off the eggs, but how can you make your homestead business
Elaine
successful?
with the alpacas did the, what did she do?
She started with
Just dryer balls.
dryer balls with the alpaca fiber.
Yeah.
Because it took so long to get the alpaca fiber to be turned into a nice beanie, a nice homesteady beanie. So she started making dryer balls. And the ROI on those was huge because it was, she could just make the thing and bloop, and it's like $3, but the cost, it was scrap. So she was able to turn scrap into something she could make money on.
Yeah, I was thinking goat's milk. Because
Oh,
in
that's a
some
great one.
states, selling your product is really almost impossible as a food source for humans.
Yeah.
So here, hold that.
Oh, yeah.
So we have our goat, one of our goat mentors sent us these goat
There we go. See the nice little stamp.
this way.
There we go.
So if everybody remembers where we got Gizmo from, the farm where we got her from, I remember walking onto that farm. We were picking up a goat for my aunt, a buck. And I saw her little goats, her kids, and I said to Austin, that is the most beautiful little goat I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And we came home with that little goat. And Valerie just started doing a goat milk soap business, which is really cool. And the stuff she sent.
I open this one.
Yeah, open it up.
Ooh. Oh.
Flip mine over, ready? Go ahead, pull it out and talk about it.
Ooh, it smells. Ooh,
It
so
smells
nice.
nice. Yeah, this is lavender. So she does her soap, all homemade.
Super. So I appreciate the stuff like this. Kay's I always like the marketing stuff.
Yes,
I get impressed.
I like
by,
the way it smells and
yeah,
works.
And I like the fact that there's a QR code, and when you scan it, it will probably bring you to watch your. I'm gonna scan it right now while you're doing that and see where it brings me.
This, the kid said, this is cruel. So be cruel to your children and buy little soap cupcakes.
They're laughing. We need a cam on them for their
I know.
reactions.
And these are chocolate little soap cupcakes. Now Valerie started doing her homestead stuff when her kids were little because they had allergies and intolerances, a lot like our son.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you realize that. And then she's got the goats for the milk. She started her own goat milk soap business. She does candles, and they're beautiful. And they smell. I'm really particular about smells. We talked about that when we talked about the other soaps.
Yes.
Something too strong or
Yeah.
fake, I don't like. But her stuff, this is a white sage and lavender. Her stuff smells really nice.
Oh yeah.
And not too strong, not too artificial smelling. And it's beautiful.
Wow.
So it'd be a really nice gift. When I opened this, I thought the way she has it packaged, it would be a beautiful gift to order for somebody.
This is
Torture your kids.
if you're going to try to make your homestead profitable, there's a lot of lessons that you can learn from. We've been really fortunate, like Kay said, we've been able to see so many different little homesteads, so many different little family farms trying to make things profitable. And by nature of doing the show, we've been able to interview them and ask really good, are you actually profitable?
Right.
Are you actually, because it's one thing to see somebody at the farmer's market with a long line and, oh man, they sold out of farm fresh eggs. A lot of people are losing money on farm fresh eggs, so it doesn't mean anything if they have a long line. So being able to interview people and say, is this working? How is this working? What matters? And I see when I open this up from Valerie, the time she's taken in the packaging, right?
Yeah, it's
she's
beautiful.
got logos and she's got this little confetti stuff.
You
and
like that.
the blue paper and the smell and the thank you with the nice personal touch.
With the ingredients
This.
right here. The
If
little
you're
baby.
gonna do this, if you're gonna try to make money homesteading, this right here, I love this. Your next order, 10% off. So she's already getting you to come back, giving you a good reason to come back. There's so many good things here, in addition to the nice product,
Right,
which
the
is
good
important.
product. She's got her coconut oil, olive oil. It's everything you know. It smells great.
Yeah. So, if you are interested in Valerie's products, we have a link below. Again, not sponsored, just a friend of ours sent us.
Yeah, but she loves her goats. She really loves her goats.
And
Alay Handmade Naturals.
yeah, awesome goats. Really cool family story.
And the kids are dying. I was waiting to do the unboxing. The kids are dying for me to open these. She says they have the double butter and the frosting, so it's extra
What do you do with that? You put it in the
nourishing.
bathtub?
It's soap,
You just like scrub it on yourself?
I would imagine.
Look at that.
Can't wait to open them.
Look at that. So link below for that if you want to check out all those products, cool stuff from a homestead that you've actually seen here on the channel. And that happens from time to time. A lot of times we wind up with working with, different homesteads and things. I saw Farmer Brad in here. Like, what a better example. Go check out Farmer Brad's channel. What a better example of a guy who's homesteading, got his side hustles from the homestead. He's got the YouTube channel. He's got product he sells, automatic waterers for chickens. If you have a setup in your barn where you want to, put a chicken waterer and connect it to a hose, if you got that set up and you can leave it on, automatic waterers. They refill automatically. Your chickens never run out of water. Super cool products Farmer Brad's got, and he's a really, really good guy. Cool YouTube channel.
Here's another one. They're growing flowers. That always amazes me at the farmer's
Oh my
market. What you can
goodness.
see, almost every person leaving the farmer's market is coming away with is flowers.
And you want to talk about a line.
Cut flowers. Oh yeah, it's huge.
Coffee
There's
and
coffee and
flowers.
flowers.
Those are the two longest
Maybe
lines in our
donuts
market.
is the third one, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the farmer's market. You're
Yeah.
here for your coffee.
Coffee,
and your
donuts,
donuts.
and
Your
flowers,
flowers.
which cut flowers.
That's a great idea.
What else do you see? What else are people sharing that they grow? Share your links. Go ahead. If you got a website, let us know. And if you're watching this later, go ahead and put it in the chat box
Oh,
below.
what a great idea, Leslie. Shiitake logs.
Ooh, cool.
Lots of honey and eggs. Honey's another great one.
Yeah, yeah. I think I was talking about this when we were touring the farm the other day with Kirsten, because she sells her pigs, and she's had a homestead for many, many years, the family homestead there, and she's gotten into the pigs in the last more recent years, and we were talking about this goal of making your homestead profitable, and it is something that most of the time I think it takes a long
A
time.
long time.
I know for us, for years, we were trying to sell chicken and chicken eggs and then pork. And over time, you start to learn different things and improve in different ways. But it did take us a while.
Because there's that joke.
Mm.
How do you make a small fortune farming?
Start with a big one.
Start with a big one. Because the
Not wrong.
infrastructure
Oh, man.
is you're talking about animals, so they need feed, they need veterinary, they need then your infrastructure. They broke your fence, time to put up new fencing, and
Yeah,
you
they
generally don't start with top of the line everything, so you're replacing every year, and it's hard to make money on your homestead.
Yeah.
A good goal is to start, wanting to pay for maybe just let's sell eggs to pay for the chicken's feed.
I think that's the perfect one. Start with just covering cost, not even your time. If you're running an actual business and you're starting a business, that's a different thing. But like if you're just trying to do the homestead side hustle thing and you want to make a little bit from it, make it the goal to cover your costs.
Yeah, start with that.
People get a little overwhelmed at first, like, well, how do I factor in my time and what is my time worth? And
Are you already doing it?
yeah, if you're enjoying your life on your homestead at that level, just try to cover costs. That's the first step in the pathway.
Because for a lot of us, it is a hobby. It is something we do to feel good, to get us outside, for just to push us out of the house, to give us a purpose, plus have the farm fresh food that we want for our families.
Yeah.
It's like golfing, right? Are you going to go out and golf and worry about but am I getting compensated for my time here? Well, if
Are you
you're
gonna
out doing something you love,
Pay to go golfing.
yeah.
Now, you're definitely going to pay to start homesteading, but over time, maybe you can cover your
That's
costs.
why we always say do what you love. And if
Yeah.
it starts to be something that you don't love, like are you sick of rabbits? You don't like the rabbit meat? You hate butchering the rabbits? You are tired of paying for rabbit feed? Stop doing rabbits.
Yeah. Once you get to that level, then you can start to think about what's my time worth. Especially at that point if you see something that works. For us, it was pigs. Chickens didn't work. Eggs didn't work. Meat chickens definitely didn't.
They're
Even-
great, like, get people to the homestead to pick
Yeah.
up eggs, and while you're there, show them pigs, talk
Yeah.
about pork.
But pork, we actually were able to not only cover our cost, but we were actually able to start profiting, and that covers your time. So the first goal is cover your cost. Next, start getting to the point where you can actually cover your time.
Yeah, it won't happen the first year, though.
No, and it will, for different product, different people, it could take many more years. Once you get to that level, then where you're actually profiting, you have some region of your homestead that's paying for itself, you start to replicate. And maybe maybe growing that section of the homestead. Back in Connecticut, we didn't grow most of our homestead stuff to scale, but the pigs we did because they were profitable. So we didn't get more chickens, we didn't get more meat chickens, we didn't get more egg layers, we definitely didn't get more goats, but we
did.
doubled and then doubled. Well,
We went up and down with goats.
yeah, but we doubled and doubled and doubled on pigs because it was working, it
And
was profitable,
You enjoyed it.
and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I've always loved having the pigs. Then you come to this point of, are you forever going to have a side hustle? Or is there a path towards this being something more? And I liked what Kirsten was talking about. Her goal is, you know what? When I retire, I want to have something to do that, you know, is not costing her. For some people, that may be what it always is.
What, always costing them?
No, for some people, the end goal might
Just
be
wanna-
just something to do that they love,
It pays for
that
itself.
pays for itself, and maybe, you know,
It's not a
allows
bad
them
goal.
to reinvest.
I think that's a nice goal.
Yeah. Other people might see, you know what, if I keep going on this and maybe add a few more things, I could find a path to even one of a couple, that being what they do. We see that in a lot of people we've interviewed. One person in a couple has, you know, benefits,
Right.
medical, they got the salary at the job, and then the other one stays home, gets to do the farm, maybe they stay at home with the kids and homeschool. Another awesome goal. And then still further from that, some people get to the point, like we've been very, very fortunate where our homestead business has led to this point where we both get to work from home all the time. So I, for the last 6 months, have been putting together a brand new course, Homesteady course. It's called the Make Money Homesteading course. We launched it to the Homesteady Pioneers because we wanted to do a beta test on it. And the Homesteady Pioneers, it sold out in a weekend. So you can't take it right now. But there is a link below if you want to get on the waiting list the next time we open up for the next round of people to take the Make Money Homesteading course. Basically what I've done is laid out our path from selling farm fresh eggs to being full-time, making a living from our homestead, kind of like the process that we took. And hopefully it will help speed up your process. So if anybody's interested in that, waiting list is in the links below. And the next time we open up registration, I'll let you know. But it is, whatever you do, even if it's just covering your costs, I think there's something that's so, I mean, you look back at homesteaders from the very beginning of the homesteading movement. Think about Little House on the Prairie. Pa was he always had something going on.
Always a side hustle.
Always. Whether it was selling something, working for a guy, you know, helping harvest the wheat.
Build, yeah, carpentry.
He had a lot of different skills and a lot of different products, and he was always doing something. And I think at the core of us homesteaders, there's those of us who love the animals and want them to go to the good home,
Is that me?
and that's a great thing. And then there's those of us who want to
There's
make a living
joy.
from it.
And there's
And when we can meet in the middle,
when we come together.
yeah, it's a beautiful.
Hopefully, we'll have something that pays for itself
someday.
because it brings us joy,
Yeah.
like those goats we're getting someday again.
Do the chicken tractors bring you joy?
Yes,
Now they do.
they do.
We were big change on the farm this week. We moved everybody outside. We got a
The
nice
chickens went outside. We needed the stall for the piglet, so chickens were ready, feathered enough. Warm weather, they're out in the field.
So let's enjoy moving chickens outside.
Not that one.
Don't think that's the clip. The one at the top, that's called Chicks Go Outside.
These chicks get stinky very quickly, so there's a lot of cleaning that happens. You'll even notice when they're in the chicken tractor, you have to move them daily because there's so much chicken poo. But inside, it's hard to keep up with them. They're big, pooping a lot. It's time to go outside.
Coming through. Men at work.
Oh man,
That's a good feeling.
so bright. That is a great feeling.
When you see them in the chicken tractor, clean, green,
Oh, yeah.
walking around, it's such a nice, that's another reason to get them on grass. It just looks so nice.
Yeah, there's such a difference. In the barn, their poop is a waste product. Now we can put it in the compost pile and, you know, put it in the gardens later, but we need to manage it. Out here,
They manage it themselves.
their poop is adding nitrogen to
And
our
it's
pasture.
huge. They look like these corners, their poops are so big. They're just like waste producing machines, which is great if you got them out here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was so cute. Everyone you pulled off the back of the gator there, and the baby, everyone's like, trying, like, I want it.
He's
I
like,
want
give it to me. But they're
Give me
not, they're fat, heavy chicks. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
hold them.
No, they would
And you know,
definitely
they're
fall
always
and
flapping and
flap
scratching, but he loved it.
Oh man, yeah. If you have been intrigued by piggies and you are thinking about maybe getting some pigs and it's going to be the first time.
So all of you, of course.
Yeah, everybody wants
Everyone.
pigs. No goats, all pigs.
No goats on pigs.
Saturday, I'm going to be getting interviewed on another channel, Simon Says. I have a link below to their YouTube channel.
They do goats, don't they?
They have goats. They do goat soap. They're a homestead who is an awesome example of
Homestead business.
homestead business. They've been on our show in the past.
Oh, they do the hot sauce too.
They do the hot sauce,
Very
which
good.
their hot sauce breaks my heart. I have learned. They're watching right now, like, what is
What
he about to
happened?
say? What happened? It is the most delicious hot sauce.
Yeah, like a barbecue sauce.
And you look at the ingredients, and it's like pure, nice ingredients, really, really good. So you don't get that a lot with their sauces, right? Normally those things are loaded with They grow the peppers on their homestead that go into that hot sauce. They have this and it's available in stores. Like you can go to the supermarket, Big Y, my CT people, head down to Big Y, get your roaster bird, and get yourself some swanky sauce. Awesome stuff.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah. So good. It breaks my heart because I have learned I can no longer eat peppers.
It's got the diet of an 85-year-old.
It's
now.
getting real bad.
It's like gruel and prunes.
I can eat prunes and oatmeal. Real exciting. So it's about lunchtime. Time for us to head over for our prunes and oatmeal.
Together.
Saturday, I'm going to be with Simon Says Farm on their channel, talking pigs. They're getting pigs for the first time, so it's going to be kind of like a 101 piggy fest. And you're welcome
That's
to join.
exciting. So you're the authority
I'm
for
the pig
them. So
authority.
you make them do whatever you want.
I'm going to tell them, yes, just get Kunekunies all over that farm. Little Kunies everywhere.
So cute.
That would be really, really cute. It would go well with their live goat cam. So this is cool, they have like live, non-stop cameras on the farm where you can watch the goats play. So maybe I'll have our daughter just watch the goat cam instead of get
Aw,
a goat
that'd be good
herself.
enough.
What do you think, honey?
Breeds, goat breeds. I saw so many people talking about them. La Manchas, Nigerians,
Goat
Kikos.
breeds. Goats.
Goats.
Well, I gotta go eat my prunes. Ost out.
And your Pepto.